Hello, and welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. Today's video is going to be a Comc return. I have right about like 70 to 80 cards. And in the background, some sad news today that Rickey Henderson passed away. And I was trying to think of like who were my favorite players growing up. And I was trying to put together a top 5 list, but really there's only 2 players that are in the top 2 and like 3 on. Like I really didn't have any other favorite players. So Rickey Henderson was one, Don Mattingly was the other. And I think I would give Rickey Henderson the edge of my favorite player of all time in baseball. So one card I always wanted was a on-card auto of Rickey Henderson. And I am not going to buy one now. I don't even want to know what's going on. It makes me sad to see just like people listing the Rickey Henderson rookies, buying them right now, driving up the price. These cards are not rare. They're always going to be there. He's signed a lot of cards. Just be patient. After a player's death, just don't buy cards. Just give it 6 months. The cards will still be there. Everybody has FOMO. You're not going to miss out. All right. Got to get through these cards. So I am all over the place collecting, but really 2025 is going to be a lot different. So I'm still going to buy some of these cards. Kind of like things like this. I am not going to be grading much in 2025. I'll show you like there may be 2 cards in this order that I'm going to grade, and I'll kind of show you those, but very limited, right? I'm just going to like the 1%, 2% I'm going to grade. Even if these cards are perfect, I mean, I'm just going to enjoy them in top loaders. I paid like $1 to $2 for these, like some of these cards, like $1. So throw it in a top loader. It's fine. I don't need a grading company to give it value, right? I don't even know what year this is. I think this is like a 1971 tops. But kind of like what I do on Comc is I look at like recently posted cards, and then I look and see if somebody posts like a card right away that's the best looking card at the cheapest price. I just buy them a lot of times just to add to my PC. So another collection I'm working on is Hall of Famers and even like NASCAR or like NASCAR Top 75. So Bill Elliott, on-card auto. Like if you want to start a PC like this, $5. I'm going to put these in Mag Pros, and probably the Mag Pro is going to be just as expensive as this card right here. So, but that's what the Mag Pros I'm using for my autos. But like a lot of cards, like it's kind of silly to put a $3 card in a $3 Mag Pro. So NASCAR, some hockey. Let's get into some football. And here's a graded card I bought, and I'm going to really even stop doing this. It's a beautiful center, and that's why I bought it. And I bought it for the price of grading, but I think that's a term we got to get rid of in the hobby. Like, it doesn't matter if you bought a card for the price of grading. Like, I think all that means is we shouldn't have graded that card. That card, if I got it now, like I would not grade it for that price. I would actually get that card, put it in a top loader. It's really unfortunate that people don't like the 1965-66 Philadelphia cards. You can get Hall of Famers for nothing. Actually, I bought another one on Comc I'm going to have shipped back eventually. It's a 1965. I forgot the Hall of Famer, but it was like $12 for a PSA 6. And it was beautifully centered. I bought it. But I'm going to do less of that in the future. Because like you can get cards like this. I got this for $4. By the way, let's focus on that beauty there. With Ray Guy, his rookie card. You can't get, there we go. You can't get a centered card like this, like anywhere. Like this is really rare in itself. That's going to be beautiful. I'm going to put that in a Mag Pro because it's in my Hall of Fame rookie cards. This is Don Maynard on card auto. Right? I mean, you can get these cards, like a lot of these players sign a lot, like $8. This was under $3. Joe Perry. These black borders. By the way, with the black borders, if you see a little white, you should actually be happy. And I'll tell you why as we go through the video today. By the way, I didn't look at these cards for condition. Yeah, the majority seem to be really nice with no creases or even surface wrinkles. Here's a Mel Blount Hall of Fame rookie card. These I got for, I think they were like $1.50 a piece, maybe even cheaper than that. These are 1972, the National Football League Players Association, like these fabric cards. So just kind of cool just to have. And kind of like just like I wanted like one of each kind of card from those years, but each one was $1.50. Really kind of cool cards to look at. This card is kind of even a more modern card, but this is what I'm looking for. So any Hall of Famers. So we got Zach Thomas with the Dolphins with a beautiful on-card auto. Got a great deal on this. So for the Comc order, again, $700 for the entire, like all these cards combined. So you can collect on a budget. This one was probably the steal that I got. The card was listed in poor condition, and it was also listed as a small. I knew it wasn't a small right away, and this is why, if you know what you're looking for vintage cards and Comc, you can get steals a lot of time. Just the back of the bottom here, the bigs have this for the bottom, just it says printed in the USA. The actual smalls have a different bottom. And so this is the large version for the Bowman for Bobby Lane. This card is like, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's listed as poor. It's just mislabeled altogether. I think it was like $3 for this card. That's going to be great in the top loader. I'll show you a baseball card because they all kind of go together. I'm working on the 52 Wheaties set. So Jimmy Patterson, I don't even know. I don't think he was a diving star, I guess. I don't think he won like Olympic gold or anything like that. But these cards are perfect. I'm just gonna, I don't like having the blue like that. I'm actually just going to trim those round because I like the round look, and that's how my other ones are. So, got that. And these were a few bucks a piece. Patty Berg, she, I think, holds the record of major championships for women. So kind of like the Jack Nicklaus there of women golf there. I think she has like 15 majors. I think that's what Tiger has as well. And then Bob Lemon. I mean, beautiful card for the Wheaties for Hall of Famer. So I have the Bob Feller. Now I have the Bob Lemon. So I'm just going to give those guys all a little trim. So those will look really nice in top loaders. So we got some diving cards as well. So diving, hockey, football, NASCAR, golf. Now we're going to get into some basketball cards. So this is actually a set I decided to start to work on. This is 2014-2015 Spectra, the global icons. There's actually 100 cards in the set. They are really hard to find. I've been buying some of these for like $5 to $7 for just like the common players. There's like cards I haven't seen. So there's like, I really followed basketball in the 80s, the 90s. But they have like Patrick Ewing. Like I've never seen the Patrick Ewing card. So I won an auction for one of these, and hopefully it comes. The seller just marked it as like shipped on track, so I'll see what happens with that. But these cards, there's not a lot of them. They were case hits from 2014-15 Spectra, and they're also 99 or 100 cards in the set. So, I mean, these things you just don't find. I found a Rick Smits for my PC, and I haven't seen another one in years, right? So if I ever see it, I will buy it. A couple of other Hall of Fame rookies. Whenever I see these for a few bucks, like $4, I'll pick up a Bernard King. Some Rick Smits cards, which nobody cares about besides me, but love them. So this is, I have another version there. I think they have like 20 different versions of this one. This one is out of, what is it, 35. So it's like the orange, I guess. This one I paid $4 or $5 for. Like, you're crazy. I am. But this card is the European version of the Fleer. So they're just hard to find in the United States. I accidentally bought this one. I didn't know I had it, and I did have it out of 25. So I'll look at the other one to see. I think the other one had like a corner damage, but I got a great deal on this, so I could probably just sell the one I don't want on eBay, break even on that. A super team there. This is the redeemed. And then this is like the other version. I mean, these Smits cards, like, I don't care if they're in perfect condition. I just want to get as many as possible. This is a card that has paper loss on the back that I bought. This is, I believe, 1986. These are hard to find. This is Arvydas Sabonis, so he's a Hall of Famer. Paper loss in the back. A lot of these were glued. These are the Converse cards there in Europe. And there's just not a lot of them. And this one was on Comc for like $3.50. I just picked it up. I don't care about the paper loss on this card. They are just hard to find. I mean, if you go to eBay, I think the cheapest one is like $90 for this, and there's just not many of them. So that'll look great. And a top loader, and got a couple of other cards. Whenever I see these for pretty cheap, I pick them up. These are the Z-Force, the numbered for the Rave out of $3.99. Just pretty. The sparkle doesn't do it justice on camera. They're great. So Jeff Hornacek and Sam Cassell. So whenever I see these, I pick them up. It's a pretty highly collected set. This is one of the cards I'm probably going to grade. I've been looking for like a PSA 7 to 8 of this Dominique Wilkins, and then this one popped up on Comc, and I got it for $50.25. And this card is, I mean, it looks amazing. I looked at the surface already. This card is nice. So this is like one of the few cards that I'm like, yeah, I'll probably grade that one. But I'm not going to be grading much. So what do we have? So we got basketball. Now baseball is my primary sport. So let's do some baseball. Got my first Lou Gehrig. All right, well, I'm eventually going to get a better one. I saw this centered. It was $1 on Comc. I was like, you know what? That'll be a cool card just to have in a top loader. And a lot of these were just like, do you need a card better than this? Like, the centering is amazing. Right? Do I need a grading company to tell me, right, how nice this card is? So these like 73 tops, there's a lot of them out there. This is a card that I had, but I didn't have well centered. So I saw this on there for pretty cheap. Nice strawberry. And being a Yankees fan, I'm also like a huge fan of like Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden. These are cards I'm getting a lot more of. This is the O-Pee-Chee version of the Tom Seaver. If you haven't got O-Pee-Chee cards before, their backs are nicer. I like them. Also like the rough cuts that they have as well. Whenever I see these for under $1 that are centered, I pick them up. So Tim Raines rookie. Beautiful centered, but not only that, we got the O-Pee-Chee version of the Frank Robinson. You can't find them centered like that, so that's a nice one. Going after a lot of the O-Pee-Chee, so I'm going to go after just runs of these players and just have binders, I think, and do that. This card I saw for $5 and I was like, why not? Now this is my only Mickey Mantle. And so I'm going to make a video next week about what I'm doing with my collection. But I had one Mickey Mantle. It was a 1963 Topps, and I sold it. It had paper loss in the back, but it was like, it presented beautifully, right? And somebody paid up for it. And I was kind of sad to let it go, but that paper loss in the back just bothered me. It's like, you know, I'm going to get a better version of it. The reason I picked this one up too, it's numbered out of 299. So just a cool card. And I collected that era, those sets. So those All-Star cards are pretty cool for me. This card, Buddy Bell. And this is the O-Pee-Chee version. So really cool card there. He was a really good player too. Another O-Pee-Chee, Nolan Ryan. O-Pee-Chee, Tom Seaver. And they're hard to tell the difference with the O-Pee-Chees. You got to get them in the hand. Like, it almost has like a little yellow a lot of times to those cards. But if you take that card and hold it up to a regular 1986 Topps, right, you'll know the difference. But the traded are harder because the backs are very similar on those. Speaking of Ricky Anderson, kind of like my collecting, like I got this for 48 cents. I can show you the receipt for this there. So like 48 cents on Comc, and it's perfectly centered. You can get cards like this. Like, why do we need to grade? Right? So kind of sad, like, you know, I'm going to probably get rid of those. I'm probably going to keep that 9 point. Like, I haven't seen a centered version of the 1981 Topps like that, but even like that, I want to kind of get the Topps, O-Pee-Chee. I think they had the Nestle version, and then the Tiffany, right? Just have like all four of those next together. I think that'd be really cool. And these are kind of cards, not perfectly centered, but these are good enough for top loaders until I get better versions. This one does have some wax stain on the back. You're not going to get this off, right? Pantyhose will not work with this. Maybe some Kurt's card spray would work. Let me know in the comments below. Should Kurt send me some card spray and I could just go there? By the way, I'm joking. I would never do that. But this would be great in a top loader. By the way, I looked at the surface of this card. It's great. And very minimal print defects, which is cool for these cards. This is awesome. Like the centering of this card, I think it was like $3. Right? You don't need to do better than this. Like, I don't need to grade this card. This was under $1. Got a Warren Spahn. Team leaders, National League leaders for victories. All-Star card of Warren Spahn. I think it was like $6. And the one seller that was selling like all of these, like all the cards look nice, and he listed them, or she, for the lowest price. And the colors just looked really nice. So I just bought like all of them there. I'll hold off on this card. Let's show this card. Okay, so this is one purchase. And you take a risk whenever you buy these. So this card was $4. And the problem with this card, these 1971 tops, if you see them like with perfect corners, and it's almost impossible to tell, but do you see, it's hard. The person decided to add some color to all these corners to make it look perfect. All right, so this card has color added, and that's why, like, this is the riskiest cards to buy raw, these 1971s. I would say like 20% of them are sharpied up on the corners to make them look perfect. So I might just keep that in a top loader because of the centering, but I'll basically make a note there that it is colored, because in case if anybody buys that card after me, want them to know. Beautiful George Kell. This was like from the same seller, like all those. Beautiful card here. Right, so no need to grade any of these. Eddie Matthews All-Star. Richie Ashburn. I mean, look at the color of that. Hey, there are amazing raw cards out there, people. But people are scared. You got to buy them in slabs. This is a card that I've been trying to find a nice centered one without print defects. And I found one without print defects. And for right now, this is going to sit in my PC until I find something better. Just like I'm not going to pay up. I'm not going to pay $100 for this card just for having great centering. So I'll just keep on looking for it. Tony Perez, I mean, perfectly centered. $4.56. Look at that. Mini Minosa. Right. I'm going to look at all these cards, but like I took a look at like 5 or 6 of them, took them out, and they all looked perfect. I shouldn't tell people about Comc. Comc is horrible. Don't go there. I don't need competition. One player that's really underrated as a player, but people know his name, is Bill Buckner. And I think this is like under $2 for his rookie card. And I bought 2. I couldn't decide which one looked nicer for like, I think it was like under $2, so bought them both. And then I saw this one. It has a little print defect up there, but beautifully centered. But this is the O-Pee-Chee version. Oh, and we got more. Probably going to be a 35-minute video. We'll see if anybody actually watches to the end. So, same order for Comc. Jack Morris. Those Fleer of the Greats, these, I love these. They're thin. I could put these in the Mag Pros. And these on-card autos, right? Like $15, I think, maybe like even $12 for that. This one I think I got for $9, Lee Smith. Right? This is a great way to get into collecting for not a lot of money. Jose Canseco, not a Hall of Famer, but for me, he is. When I was growing up, right, we had like Lee Smith, right? He wasn't the famous one. Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, right? The Bash brothers. $15 for this awesome Darryl Strawberry. And oh, this card is thick. Look at that thing. I gotta get a big Mag Pro for that one. And I finally got one for my PC. This is a Fleer Greats there, but this is like, it's much nicer looking in person. It's just the shine of it. Even my wife said it was sparkly. So on-card auto of Don Mattingly. And this card was really cool. I think it was like $20. So Lou Brock, and it is signed leather. And if you take a look at it, it says personally worn, used in a official Major League Baseball game. I mean, I don't know what it is. Was he like wearing like leather underwear and they cut it up and put it in the card? No idea. I don't even know if this bat is game used bat too for that, but I just thought it was a cool card for 20 bucks to have a autograph there. Oh, here are two graded cards I shouldn't have bought, but you know, this is the thing is I see things for good deals. Like I saw this for like $6. Not a Hall of Famer, but Jack Clark. I actually have one of these that is autographed. So, I mean, nicely centered, beautiful card for a $6. And this one I bought, and now I'm going to get rid of it because he's no longer a Yankee. He went to the Mets. And I bought this for $9.40. Raw ones go for $8. I should just bought a raw one, but right. It's a Gem Mint 9.5. I could actually send this to CSG or CGC now, and they'll put it in a 10 label because they don't do subgrades anymore. I'm just going to sell this one. It's really nice, though, right? I'll break even on that. All right. I got, I think, like 7 cards left. So, a couple of cards here. And these are, like, off-centered a little bit, but amazing condition. But these I got for under $2. I might just work on this set. So, yeah, I think it was like $1.90 for each one of these on Comc when they had, like, their deals. Like, people are just getting rid of stuff. So, I mean, these things are, like, look at the corners. Like, they're perfect, right? And these cards, 1964. So, people hate big cards. You can't really store them with the rest of your collection, right? So, I got some more big cards. I'll make a video about big cards too. So, early win, Red Man Tobacco. And I think I got all these between $20 and $30. Got a Bob Lemon, so this is the other version. I think I have, what's the 1955? That's the yellow one. Like, they're all kind of the same, but they have, like, different backgrounds. And George Kelp, so another Hall of Famer, so I keep on collecting these. You can get these for, like, 25 to 30 with the tabs, and I only go for the tabs. All right, it's getting crowded. So, yeah, again, I think for $700 I did well. But we have 2 cards left. All right, one is a super big card, but super cool. I've been collecting the 1952 Wheaties, but then you start to look back, and then John Mangini did a video about these Wheaties cards, and it was kind of funny because like an hour before I bought one, I didn't even know what it really was. I just saw it. I thought it was super cool, of a Hall of Famer. This is, I can't even get this into the camera view. Got to move some cards for this. This is a big card. This is a 1936 Gabby Hartnett Hall of Famer. And so this is, I think, 1935 MVP for the National League. And I believe this is like cut like short here, like above it, like it's a fancy border, they call it. And this card itself, I haven't seen many of them, right? So I did pay $42 for this card. Well, from a cereal box. But it's really hard, like, try to find, like, a Gabby Hartnett, like, he doesn't have many cards, so a lot of the strip cards are super expensive from his playing days. I think his only, like, really mainstream, if you can call it that, card is the 1933 Gaudy card. I believe, like, and that one goes for like 150 and like a 1 or something like that. So for a lot of these players, there wasn't a lot of cards like in the 30s. So sometimes like these food brand type things or off brands, and especially the large cards, you can get for a much better deal. And they don't really come up that often for sale. This card, like, and I was just saying, like, oh, they don't come up for sale. Like, one just popped up on eBay as an auction. And it has a little bit of the border around the top of it, but it's like a big chunk out of it, like here. So this one's in better condition. And already it just, like, people are bidding up on that, like $20 right now. If you want a card like this, there's just not many of them, right? So the best for last, in my opinion. And by the way, just best for last, I paid $26 for this because I think people were scared. Comc has like their auctions, and if you win their auctions, it's pretty cool. If you are on their website too, you don't have to pay for the shipping. You just buy it on Comc from the eBay auction, and then you can avoid the shipping and then just have everything shipped back. But probably my favorite card from the whole entire order is this 1955 doubleheader, the Warren Spahn and Tom Brewer, but really for the Warren Spahn. And this card, when it had pictures, it was folded over, right, with the Tom Brewer, so you just saw Tom Brewer, and you didn't know the condition of like what the Warren Spahn looked like underneath, right, from the Comc auction. Usually when they have these cards, they're opened up like this so you can actually tell the condition. But $26.02. Now, this is one card I'm probably going to grade with SGC. It's just flimsy in this card saver. It doesn't present well. And I think I'm definitely going to get this graded. So, very limited amount of grading I'm going to be doing in the future, but like certain cards like this, I definitely will. That one you can't grade. I mean, you can, but that size of a card, like I think like SGC and PSA charge like $50 a piece, like $50 just to grade a card of that size. It's just kind of crazy. So that was my Comc order. And I'm going to continue to buy some of these cards, but like I'm not going to grade any of them, right? Besides the Warren Spahn and possibly that Dominique Wilkins, just because I have, well, it's not even his rookie card, right? But we consider the 1986 Fleer to be all their rookies. But I have a bunch of those graded already in like 8s and 9s, so I'm just going to kind of keep that consistent. And that one's definitely going to get an 8, in my opinion. So I'll see where I send that. It's either going to go to, I'm done with PSA for a while. I'm probably going to send it to SGC or CGC, depending on what I do in the future. So I'll make a few other videos. I definitely want to talk about oversized cards. And also I got a couple of mail day cards that I want to show you. and also what I'm going to do in 2025 for my collecting. So in the comments below, let me know your favorite card. And as always, have a great day. Keep on collecting.